It's a playground for these middle-aged men.
Almost enforced an alcohol use.
He had me sing the Itsy Bitsy Spider for an hour.
Camouflaged amongst the bright lights and loud music of nightlife is a ruthless sales team working to empty your wallet by selling you status, attention, and extremely marked up bottles of. With some of these salespeople making an upwards of $30,000 a night, it's no wonder that bottle girls have become a coveted position across every major city. But behind the makeup, high heels, and sparklers is a complicated dance involving lust, power dynamics, and ego. Pay close attention to what's about to happen. This man just paid $40,000 for a $9,000 bottle of champagne. What seems like an overpriced purchase is actually the beginning of a complicated dance that will take place over the remainder of the evening. By paying a set minimum decided by the club, he gained access to a table he's welcome to invite several people to. The only tables you'll find in a nightclub are restricted behind this purchase, and they're also elevated above the dance floor, ensuring everyone in the club sees you. He's also gained the ability to buy alcohol by the bottle, which will be delivered to his table by beautiful women holding signs with his name on it, sparklers, and any other gimmick clubs can get their hands on to once again advertise that this guy has a lot of money. These women are referred to as bottle girls, and they're employed by the club to upsell wealthy partygoers.
There was lots of involved, lots of the managers and the owners almost enforced an alcohol use in the waitress station. They thought that if we did it, we would which then in turn would make the clients spend more money.
After taking the table's order, the bottle girls will return to pour his party's drinks, typically have one themselves, and then flirt, dance, and party with them for a short while before returning behind the scenes. Not only does it feed the purchaser's ego, but it advertises their availability to the women in the club, as they have the power to invite them to their table.
I literally would just go up to tables and you just have to like give a face like, yeah, and they'll give you free alcohol.
After picking a few women to join them, the bottle girls will return to sell them more bottles, essentially playing wingman as their client likely wants their new guests to be drinking. Bottle girls will always try to sell their clients champagne, telling them girls prefer it and it looks better on tables because the labels glow in the dark. However, the real reason is because it goes faster than vodka, as there's only 5 glasses of champagne in a bottle. This is an example of the strategies utilized by bottle girls to maximize their income, as they make a percentage based off of their client's final bill and receive a tip on top of that.
It's always, hey, do you want to add a bottle of champagne onto that? Do you want to add a champagne shower? Do you want to add the caviar thing? I mean, they are selling.
However, the dance between bottle girls and clients is only getting started, as a new client across the club has just purchased a table. As previously stated, nightclubs purposefully elevate the bottle service section so the rest of the club can see them, but they also position tables to be within view of other tables. A bidding war for the women at the club is about to begin, and suddenly, the bottle girls are partying at the other table, waving signs, lighting sparklers, and taking attention away from them. The type of women that chase men paying for bottle service typically know what they're doing. The game for them is to have fun, but also to try to get something out of it. They know if the men are willing to spend 5 to 6 figures on alcohol, they're likely willing to buy them a gift the following afternoon if they go home with them. According to a New York Magazine interview with Ricardo Garcia, a former hedge fund guy turned partygoer, different clubs attract different women with different intentions. Ricardo says, money-hungry girls go to the boom boom room looking for serious bank, while Cipriani is the #1 spot in Manhattan for and half. The difference between and half being that the former will ask for money straight away, while the latter will ask for gifts after the fact. With more and more money being spent at the new table, women at the original table will likely make the decision to migrate over there instead. This is referred to as trading up, and it's why tables are positioned the way they are. If the client at the first table wants to return to the center of attention, he will have to outspend the party at the new table. And as more and more people buy tables, the stakes and bills grow higher and higher. To give you an idea of how much money these people are spending in nightclubs, a 750 milliliter bottle of Ace of Spades at Excess in Vegas costs $1,795. A 6-liter bottle of Louis Roederer Cristal costs $40,000, and a 6-liter bottle of Rose Dom Perignon costs a staggering $150,000.
The clientele was definitely like just rich men basically, or like, you know,
trust fund babies that are just like a bunch of drunk idiots that come in and spend money.
However, the alcohol contained inside isn't what's valuable. It's the bottle's label and accompanying show the bottle girls put on when delivering it to the table. It's all to show off one's wealth and attract attention from potential partners. And if the bottle girls know what they're doing, they'll have an all-out war taking place between the tables. Additional ways bottle girls monetize these people is by offering to display their names on the club screens, dropping confetti on their table, or by offering champagne showers, where you pay for a bottle of champagne just to have the bottle girls spray it over everyone at your table. One club in Las Vegas, Hakkasan, even made headlines all the way back in 2014 for offering a $500,000 bottle of Ace of Spades delivered by 40 bottle girls that comes with a custom-made UFC champion belt for you to wear across the waist in the club, as well as a diamond necklace for you to gift to a woman at your table. At the end of the night, once the lights turn on and it's time to pay your tab, clients are expected to tip on top of a 20% gratuity. According to a New York Magazine interview with a bottle girl, last week at Hayes in Las Vegas, a whale left a $30,000 tip on top of the automatic 20% gratuity of his $182,000 bill. A girl can make up to $100,000 a year working just 3 nights a week. Despite bottle girls mostly working for tips, they often find other ways to monetize their clients. For example, it's not uncommon for them to visit high-paying customers outside of work, sometimes even going home with them at the end of the night. Nightclubs don't necessarily encourage it, but are quick to turn a blind eye, as happy, high-paying customers are likely to return. This is part of the reason why you see bottle girls advertising what club they work at and how much money they're being tipped on social media. They're advertising their availability and expected spending. According to the same New York Magazine interview with a bottle girl, pairs of Louboutins, Louis Vuitton bags, trips, it's not unusual for a bottle waitress to take 2 days off and fly to Vegas with a client. She won't get fired for that, so long as when they return, the client will spend large at the club. Although working as a bottle girl can make you a lot of money in a short period of time, the job isn't as glamorous as it may appear. From sitting on laps to being thrown up on, at its core, the job is pretending to care about wealthy drunk men. And the more they spend, the more they tend to think they own you.
And I'm like, let go of me. Like, I'm now, like, I'm yelling. I'm like, let go of me, let go of me. This is what threw me off. He gets mad. He gets mad at me and he goes, don't tell me what to do. I'll do whatever I want. If I want to grab you, I'll grab you.
One bottle girl described the unspoken rule of the business as, you're here to make sure the customer has a good time. Customer retention is paramount.
He had me sing the Itsy Bitsy Spider slam poetry style to him for an hour straight. It was so bizarre. The thing was though, as horrible and annoying as he would always tip 100%, sometimes on like $10,000, $15,000 checks. So, you know, we did what we had to do.
Another former bottle girl detailed her experience by explaining a situation where she watched a client put his hand up another bottle girl's skirt, and after she slapped him, she was fired. At the end of the day, clubs just want wealthy people to spend money in their business, and bottle girls are a way to lure them there. If it comes down to burning a bridge with a rich client or a bottle girl, the bottle girl will always go down first. To make matters worse, purchasers of bottle service have been known at times to spike the drinks bottle girls share with them in an attempt to take them home with them.
Some of these men can drug you, some of these men can get you drunk and then try to take you home with them, and that's out of the club's control, and you don't get protection for that.
This puts bottle girls in an uncomfortable situation where they can't trust their clients, but they also can't trust their managers because they always side with the money.
I don't think there is any managers in this scene that aren't carbon copies of each other, sleeping with every single girl, drinking. It's a playground for these like middle-aged men. It's a breeding ground for, you know, being taken advantage of. That's not a stereotype. That's very much how it is.
Additionally, nightclubs make bottle girls adhere to strict beauty standards, including their weight. Upon being hired, nightclubs will typically give a bottle girl an allowance or an amount of weight they're allowed to gain or lose during their career. If bottle girls go over or under this allowance, they're fired. One former bottle girl described her allowance as 8.5 pounds, and even said that girls were subjected to random weigh-ins to make sure they're active in the gym. However, it doesn't stop at weight.
We have really high overhead. Botox, Pilates, personal training, constantly making sure that your hair is perfect, making sure your nails are always perfect.
At the end of the day, you can make quite a bit of cash working as a bottle girl. girl. However, you need to spend a decent amount of that money to be able to do the job. And unfortunately, in the club's eyes, you're disposable. Nightclubs will always prioritize the customer over the staff if that customer is spending a lot of money. And unfortunately, when a customer is spending a lot of money, they tend to think they can do whatever they want to you. The water gets even muddier when you have managers encouraging their bottle girls to use substances that will make them more flirty with their clients. Although it might make more money for the club, it's another example of putting the bottle girl's safety in jeopardy just to maximize profits.